Okay, I'll go ahead and call the regular meeting for June 24th, 2025 to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our mission statement is Learning for Life. Vision statement, Southgate Community Schools, the best choice for students and parents. With that, I will entertain a motion on the agenda.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Sage. Any discussion on the agenda? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we have an agenda. First items are presentations, and the first presentation is the fiscal year 26 budget hearing.
Good evening, everyone. I am here tonight to present the 25-26 proposed original budgets for our general fund, our food service fund, and our community services fund. So the following document contains our revenues and expenses that are associated with the operation of the school district. I'm going to go through some of the assumptions that we made when putting together this budget. I'm first going to start with our 2025 millage rate requests. So our local tax revenue is based on the full 18 mil levy authorized by law on taxable non-principal residence property, except commercial personal property, which is levied at 6 mils. Our operating millage will remain the same at 18 mils, and our total operating levy is expected to raise $6,290,000. Our recommended debt millage of 5.85 mils is the same as it was in 2024. There's been no change to that. And the 5.85 mils is expected to generate $5,357,726, which will pay our annual principal and interest on our voter-approved bond issues. And we have 1.8721 mils levied for our sinking fund that is due in July. Other revenue assumptions we took are the elimination of the one-time lease money we received for Garish. That was due to the elimination of Beacon. We're no longer receiving those revenues, so we removed those. The foundation allowance is projected to increase from $9,608 per pupil to $10,000 per pupil, so that's an increase of $392 per pupil. We're also projecting an increase in our enrollment by 50 pupils. And we also expect an increase in our special education reimbursements. On to the expenditure assumptions. We are expecting a hard cap cost increase. We do have staffing adjustments, which includes all the additional staff that we're adding over at the new Davidson Middle Academy. And we are expecting an increase to our transportation costs. So our projected general fund balance as a percentage of our prior year's expenditures is 30.67%, and our board policy requires that we endeavor to maintain a year-end balance of 10%. And a few of the unknowns that we have at this time are the foundation allowance that is not set in stone yet, so we do not know what that will be. And then our fall 2025 pupil count is not established yet. So our estimated ending fund balance at June 30th of this year per the proposed amended budget is $17,708,506. And our estimated ending fund balance at June 30th of 2026 per the proposed original budget is $17,730,317, which is a net increase in the projected fund balance at June 30th, 26 of $21,811. Our total revenue we're projecting is $6,583,486. And our total expenses are $65,561,675. And like I mentioned earlier, our projected percentage of prior year's expenditures is 30.67%. So on these next few slides, it's just tables showing the proposed amended budget for 24-25 compared to what we're showing for the proposed original budget going into 25-26. So these are the changes in revenue for our general fund. So we're looking going into 25-26 at a decrease of revenue of $355,687. And our biggest hit there was on that local source. You'll see that decrease of 1.2 million. That is the garish revenue that we have lost due to the beacon closure. So that's where we're hitting there. And then our increase in the state sources, that's based on the foundation allowance increase. On the next slide, you'll see some of the changes in our general fund for the expenditures. It's broken down by each program, I'll call it. It's our basic instruction, our administration, our business services. You'll see that it's a slight decrease from what we're proposed in the amended budget to the original budget. That's a decrease of $9,000. Some of our increased numbers are due to adding the DMA staff, one-time cost associated with getting that building up. You'll see that, and then there's some decreases that help break up what we're adding, and that's why it's such a decrease in these expenditures on this fund. Now onto the food service revenue fund. So on our proposed amendment, we were looking at about almost $2.3 million in revenue. On the proposed original budget, we're looking at just under $2.2 million, which is a decrease of $120,000. Our local sources include, it's a lot of money that comes in from like programs or people in the buildings doing food service, and we invoice them when we get the money. So I was a little more conservative here just based on, we don't really know who's going to order food at what time. So I did knock the number down just slightly. So that's why you do see the decrease of almost 90,000 there. And then our state sources include the free meal reimbursements, things of that nature. And then on the expenditure side for our food service, we are looking at a decrease in expenditures of $166,910. Our biggest decline in that is in the equipment category. So in 24-25, we did spend quite a bit of money on equipment because we had a spend down plan that was required through the state. So we did purchase quite a bit of equipment to fulfill that. So you will see the decrease in that category. And then the final fund is our community services fund, excuse me. This includes our Latchkey program, our preschool program, the Gators program, and Ed Camps. So our total revenue on our amended budget was $752,000, and for the proposed, we're looking at $683,000, which results in a decrease of just over $69,000. A lot of the local sources is the tuition we bring in and the latchkey money we bring in. That's what that line item is up there. On the state sources, I did remove the one-time money for the MyLeap we received last year. That has been removed from the state source. And then these are the expenditures we have for the community services. So it's broken down by programs, so Latchkey Preschool, Enrichment, Gators, and Ed Camps. So the expenditures, we are expecting them to increase slightly, about $26,000. Nothing too pressing fit in that. It's just the way the numbers work. So that's why we're seeing an increase in that fund. That is all I have. So do you have any questions?
Questions for staff? Dr. Montgomery?
What's the proposed increase to transportation?
Right now, we did it only slightly. I want to say budget-wise, we only did it by $10,000. It was just slightly under $10,000, but it's one of the accounts we are keeping an eye on just to make sure and monitor that it doesn't go crazy out of the way.
We do have, though, an escalation cost that is written into the contract. So each year, it's a 3% increase in fees, so that's also established there.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for staff? Okay. Thank you. Next item. The truth in taxation hearing.
So that was touched on briefly in the presentation, but I will again reiterate the numbers for the truth in taxation. So annually, we must certify the tax rate request, which is our Form L-4029 for the new tax year. So the proposed millages are to be levied are as follows. We're doing 18 mills on the non-homestead millage, 6 on the commercial personal property, 1.8721 on the sinking fund millage, and 5.85 on the debt millage. And the millage for the non-homestead was renewed in May of 2025. The voters also approved a new bond issue at the same election, and the new bond will be paid for with our existing 5.85 mills of debt.
That serve as the hearing? All right, thank you very much. Are there any questions on the truth in taxation? All right. Thank you very much. All right, presentation number 3, student handbook revisions, first reads. We have A, B, and C, so it's Anderson, Davidson, and Technology. What you'll lead us through those.
Yes, I'm highlighted for you the changes that are in the handbooks as presented. Our largest amount of change is coming from the Anderson High School. They are changing some of their practices associated with how they handle tardies. So the high school has done tardy sweeps pretty regularly for several years prior. Next year, they are eliminating that. They are going to use tardy markings. They are going to have penalties for tardiness, but they are not going to create absences in lieu of tardies. Grade discrepancy will have some reporting obligations. There will be some graduation obligations to Zello and the Capstone Project. They will be prohibiting cell phones in classes. And they will also be requiring district-issued equipment for internet purposes. So those are some additions to the handbook that is there for the first read. In Davidson Middle School, there are some grading policy changes for 6th and 7th and 8th grade. Those have been in effect this last year. This is now being transferred to the handbook itself. And then for technology, the department is embedding some language that does allow fee waivers in some situations for exceptional circumstances. So those are the highlights of what is proposed to change in some of our policies and practices at the building level. And this will be a first read, so we will come back to the table at the beginning of August for a final approval from you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And then we'll also have in August a first read on the new DMA student handbook as well.
Any questions on the handbook changes? All right. Seeing none, we'll call the presentations wrapped up. That will move us on to item F, which is citizens' comments. Any member of the public can address the board for up to 3 minutes. Is there anybody here who would like to speak tonight? All right, seeing none, we'll close the public comment. Brings us to the consent agenda that consists of the June 10th, 2025 regular meeting minutes and the HR update. I'll entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support? Supported by Ms. Angel. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Consent passes.
Yes, and I'd like to introduce to the members of the board, we have one of our new teachers here in the audience, and Barry Walker has been hired for our Davidson STEM position. Barry is not new to the district. He has been an established fixture at the high school for many, many years, as well as a member of our coaching staff, and he is currently a coach at DMS. But we are excited, after a year of the certification support that he received from the state through our school district, through Talent Together. He was able to get his requirements for the teaching credential, and we're just excited that we had a perfect fit for an opening for him this year. So, welcome, Barry.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Josh, thanks.
Thank you
Heard
very
nothing but
much.
great things.
Thank you. All right, that brings us to our action items. First action item is approval of the fiscal year 25 final budget amendment.
So I have submitted for your review and approval the following proposed final amended budgets: the general operating fund, the food service fund, and the community services fund.
Any questions for staff on the final budget amendment for fiscal year 25? Seeing none, bring the discussion back to the table. Entertain a motion on action item number 1.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the 2024-2025 final budget amendment as presented.
Okay, a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Green. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is approved. Action item number 2 is approval of the fiscal year 26 original budget.
I have submitted for your review and approval the following proposed original budgets: the general operating fund, food service fund, and community services fund. And I would like to point out, I did put a new copy of the community services fund at each of your table. I found a formula error that missed $1,000 of expenditures, so I did correct that, and that's the corrected version.
Thank you. Any questions for staff on the 26 fiscal year original budget? Sure. Go
I'm
ahead.
pulling it up here. It's saying the file is no longer valid. Do you see it?
If you can go to the website and grab the agenda from the website that has the most up-to-date version.
Okay, as opposed to from the email?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Connie and I are working on a strategy for how we handle revisions connected
Website's
to
there.
an email.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, from the email, it's not pulling, but
Yeah,
from
it's
the,
not- okay.
but yeah, when I go in through the website, through the agenda, it's right.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I lost track of where we were. We had a, yeah, no, we did not get a motion on that yet, right? Okay, I'll entertain a motion on action item number 2.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the 2025-2026 original budget as presented.
Okay, a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Green. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. Action item number 3 is approval of the L4029 tax form. Again, back in line with the hearing that we had, right?
Yep, as stated in the Truth and Taxation hearing annually, the Board of Education must certify the Form L4029, so I have that for your review and approval this evening.
Any questions for staff on the tax form? Okay. All right, seeing none, bring the discussion back to the table. Entertain a motion on action item number 3.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the L4029 tax form as presented.
Motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Sage. Any discussion? Okay. Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is approved. Action item number 4, approval of the Davidson Middle School classroom painting and base work. Sorry.
Good evening. In accordance with our district standard and maintenance schedule cycle, painting and installation of new floor base with painting of the walls and installation of new floor base within the classrooms will begin this summer at Davidson Middle School. We received quotes for painting from R&M Painting for patching and painting of classroom walls, patching and repairing of walls will consist of drywall, mud. It'll also include filling the holes in the masonry walls. And then Cones Commercial Flooring, demo the existing base and install the 4-inch new burnt umber base in the classrooms. These will coincide, so if painting's getting done, the base are getting done in the same classroom. So we're gonna demo the base first, paint, and then put new base in after the paint. Now, this is just the start of this process, and we're starting at Davidson Middle School. So it's our recommendation, the Board of Education approve R&M Painting LLC and Cones Commercial Floor Covering for the painting and base, including the contingency of $5,000 and not to exceed $28,537. Questions?
Any questions for staff? Dr.
Yes.
Pomponio?
The 13 classrooms, is that all the classrooms, or is that part of them?
No, it's not Davidson in its entirety. Walk-in these classrooms, we decided to choose these because of the dire need of these classrooms. And a lot of it's because of the drywall patching and repair in the classrooms. So over time, they've removed posters and there's no paint left on walls in certain areas. So we want to start here and we're going to continue with Davidson until all the classrooms will get a fresh coat of paint. But we got to start somewhere and we're starting here for now.
Thank you.
What's the time frame you thinking of this?
This summer.
Did it take
So-
all summer to do these?
No, we have other work, sorry about my voice. We have other work at Davidson being done as well. There's some roller shades with Granger, so we're trying to incorporate this into the other work that's being done as well. So Davidson's getting all new roller shades. There's some exterior work. So we try to balance this to coincide with the Granger summer schedule at Davidson, because Davidson's going to be really busy this summer.
Summer just started, but it goes fast, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it does.
For our teachers in the room, they get it.
Any other questions?
Any other questions for staff? All right. Seeing none, I'll bring the discussion back to the table, entertain a motion on action item number 4.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Davidson Middle School classroom painting and base installation, not to exceed $28,537.
Okay. I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support? Support. Support by Mr. Sage. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that motion's approved. Action item number 5, approval of the garish concrete replacement. Mr. Hardy again.
Yeah, so Garish is in dire need of new sidewalk replacement around the entire building. I've included a couple different maps for the replacement and the new concrete, which I'll talk about in a minute. The replacement of the concrete also includes some of the city walks we are responsible for. So I walked with the contractor and we flagged the worst of the worst for this, and there's quite a bit that needs replaced. And then we're proposing to add some new concrete as well to some of the baseball and softball fields. The new concrete on baseball will be added some in the dugouts. It'll also include a sidewalk to the bleacher pads that exist currently, but there's no ADA accessibility, so there's no sidewalk to the bleacher pads. Also, there'd be some new concrete for softball bleacher pads. There currently is no pads at all for the softball bleachers, but we have bleachers over there, so they're unlevel right now, which will be a safety hazard. We're going to put some in the dugouts, and we're also proposing to replace the path to the neighborhood. Currently, it is an asphalt, but it's so deteriorated and the base is gone. We're going to put that path back in concrete. I've included that. It's hard to see, but it also goes underneath this shade or tree line, so it comes all the way from Garish and kind of makes an L shape into the neighborhood. There's an opening into the neighborhood, and it'll create a clear path from the neighborhood to the school. So we hold a 5-year contract with Royal Cement for all concrete work. I brought that to the board just a couple board meetings ago. Royal's pricing on these quotes have been verified, so we did not need to bid this out to separate contractors because we've already done this and we have a 5-year contract with them. Please see the attached estimate and maps of the concrete replacement and new for baseball, softball. That would be the new concrete is $57,552. the building sidewalks and replacement is $58,866. I'm asking for a contingency of $20,000 for, why so high is because, there might be some more selective demo as we get into this that makes sense. Also some, more restoration that makes sense while we're out there around the building. Sorry. So it's a recommendation, the Board of Education approve Royal Cement's estimate and contingency for the total not to exceed $136,419. Questions?
So, is the city responsible for any of the concrete work?
On the city walks, we're responsible to place the flags, just like in the neighborhoods, they will flag it and say this is not safe, and because it touches our property, we are to maintain it.
It's an unfairness, I think.
Right.
And we, in the wintertime, we have to, snow blow it, salt it, cut between the sidewalk and the road, which is technically the city's, but, we maintain that as well.
And the sidewalk that's there now behind those houses, is that damaged? Is it,
The walkway all the way
Yeah.
to, yeah, the asphalt is totally, it's cracked, it dire need of repair, and the base, when they did core sample, the base is, it's got to come out.
Yeah.
So we can come out and put in asphalt, but I think long-term longevity for this concrete's going to last longer than trying to patch and seal it every couple years, all the way across the field into the neighborhood.
okay, thank you.
We have also included, because we mow, we also included, it's not thin concrete, so when we drive over the concrete, we're not going to crack it. So we thought ahead, and our mowers aren't going to destroy the concrete versus asphalt path.
Is it just as wide as a, like sidewalk, so the community can go back and forth?
Yes, it's got to be ADA standard. It looks smaller now, so it's going to be 4 foot
good,
coming
good.
back
Yeah.
to the neighborhood. So we're, and also with the replacement and the new, we're making sure that it's all meets ADA accessibility standards with the crosswalk stamped in. The planes and slopes will be right. Right now it's not. There's a lot of wrong around the building.
Any other questions for staff? Seeing none, I'll bring the discussion back to the table. Entertain a motion on action item number 5.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the garish concrete replacement with Royal Cement's estimate and contingency for the total not to exceed $136,419.
I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support? Support by Ms. Angel. Any discussion on the item? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion is approved. Action item number 6, Architectural Engineering Design Services Award Recommendation. Yeah.
Good evening. Gary Count, Plant Brand Real Point, along with Mr. Hardy from Southgate Community Schools, here to present the award recommendation for Architectural and Engineering Design Services for the 2025 Southgate Community Schools Bond Program. For the 2025 bond program, the project team, which consisted of the administration, Plant Brand Real Point, and legal counsel, decided to competitively bid the architectural engineering design services. On May 21st, we issued an RFP to 6 firms that are experienced in design in the state of Michigan and have a history of education sector clients, specifically K-12 clients. On June 6th, we received 5 firms submitted proposals, and the project team, Superintendent Irvine, myself, and Mr. Hardy spent the following week conducting post-bid interviews. Upon completion of our interviews, the project team is recommending Wakely Associates for AE Design Services for the 2025 bond program, pending final review of terms by the district's legal counsel. Wakely Associates proposed a strong team to perform the work and demonstrate a strong understanding of the projects. They came well prepared to the post-bid interview. Their MEP engineer or mechanical, electrical, plumbing engineer, UBS, had a good understanding of all the projects that we were doing in the bond program. They proposed a fee of 6.65% for a stipulated sum of $1,330,000, along with a reimbursable allowance of $72,000. The 6.65% is based on a $20 million construction value, roughly $20 million. And the total contract award for their stipulated sum and reimbursables is $1,402,000 even. Plant Moran Real Point has worked with Wakely and Associates, and other school districts, Warren Con, Farmington Hills, Westwood Schools, Macomb County. They have good quality drawings, they have a good client service base, and they're very good at education and renovation projects. I know Mr. Hardy's worked with them in a few other districts as well. You mentioned those, Jason.
Personally, when I built schools in my past life, I actually built off their drawings. So I did work in Lance Cruz with them, Fraser Public Schools, and Chippewa Valley Schools in my time. So the drawings then, I'm sure, are now very detailed, and they were open and responsive.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we're looking for in this bond program is getting an architect on board that gave us good detailed drawings, so that we weren't facing a lot of change orders down the road and coming back to the board with any changes that might pop up. So we feel really confident with Wakely and Associates, and we're happy to answer any questions that the board might have.
Any questions about the item in front of us for the architectural engineering services? No? I'll just point out that, part of this, whenever an architect, engineer gets involved with work for a public entity, whether it's a city or a school district, they are required to be involved in the project, carrying it through. That's by law. They're not allowed to draw up drawings and push it and say, see you later. Now they can do that for a McDonald's. They cannot do that for an entity where public dollars are being spent. They have to be actively involved, and that's maybe a difference in what we're seeing and how they would design a McDonald's and do it for a fee and what fee we're paying for this. So just point that out. But I don't have any questions or anything about the specifics, just pointing that out. So, all right, if there's no questions for staff, I'll go ahead and bring the discussion back to the table, entertain a motion on action item number 6.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the architectural and engineering design services award as presented.
Okay, a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support? Support. Support by Mr. Green. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is approved. Thank you very much. Last item on the agenda. President. Mr. Green.
A motion to adjourn.
Okay, a motion by Mr. Green to adjourn the meeting. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Dr. Pomponio. Any discussion on the adjournment? Seeing none, I will call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We adjourn. Thank you.